Alright, and we're live.
And we're live.
Hit that timer so we can get this thing on the road.
Timer started. Yeah. There we go.
Well, we can shut this thing off before our camera overheats and dies. Thank you, Nikon.
Thank you, Nikon.
Speaking of people that don't sponsor this show's brought to you by Rain. Rainbow Sherbet.
And White Gummy Bear. It's my nickname in the hood.
All right, I'm Charlie.
I'm Charles.
And you're listening to the Buhurt is Love podcast. So this episode is a special episode because we're making a big announcement.
Are we?
I mean, yeah. Are we ready to make an announcement?
I feel like we are.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, all right. For those of y'all that don't know, you should know by now. But in case you don't know, chapter matches are the absolute best format.
Yeah.
In our sport.
Easily.
All right.
Let's see how good a team really is.
Yeah. Their depth, their strategy, there's the singles matter. They're no longer second-class citizens.
Yeah. The adjustments that you make between quarters or even rounds or halves.
It's better for the fans.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's more like what they're used to seeing with like football or football or rugby.
Yeah, scorekeeping.
Hockey or, they're more used to seeing the team play for a protracted period. Not, we smashed and bashed for 90 seconds and then now we're done for the next hour, like in a big tournament is. Right.
Or if you've gone overseas, I've had this issue. I've had people who wanted to watch me fight, and they were like, man, armor fighting is great, but I watched the 5-hour stream to see you fight for a total of maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, our sport is great, but there are plenty of issues.
It's not spectator friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's highlight reel amazing, but it is not spectator friendly. Chapter matches solve all of this. All of this. But how does it solve it? Right? It is not just because it's a different format. It's because the format lends itself to viewing. Right?
Exactly.
You have a sport that's already kind of hard for people to follow because there ain't a ball.
Yeah, there's no ball.
There's no ball. Right?
There's stuff going on everywhere.
Yep. So you need to simplify it enough so that people can follow it, and you do that by making sure they're seeing a round after round after round, so they get the repetition and they can follow what's going on, and they begin to learn the ins and outs of the sport. Also,
an underrated part of I think every sport is the commentary. The commentary has to be decent.
Yep. And if you've got like commentary in sports, not great.
It's not in general.
It's not. No offense to those guys that are commentators. It's not necessarily your fault. Some of it is. Some of y'all are bad.
Yeah, some of it is. But
and if that makes you upset, I'm probably talking to you.
Oh yeah.
So
we're back, guys.
We're back. Nobody's safe. Not
back,
even you.
Yes.
It's me. I'm bitches. I've done commentary when it was terrible. Right?
Not the worst.
Not the worst, but I've thrown stuff up that wasn't great.
Yeah,
right.
I've done some tough commentary too. Yeah. It's been
hell. I commentated one whole pro fight that my mic was off.
That's funny. You had a blast, didn't you?
You could hear me through Brett's mic, kind of.
You had a great time.
Yeah,
you had a great time talking to nobody.
Commentators in our sport, by and large, they're not professionals.
Yeah.
So, and one of the things that makes it hard to commentate is when you've got 9 gajillion teams, like at Carnage or something, and you don't know the players on there, on the teams, right? That's the reason why Vince is so good, is because he knows enough guys in the sport.
Exactly.
He can throw in those anecdotes that kind of bring the sport to life to people at home.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And you can do that more so if you have a protracted event, right?
You can have in a tournament. As a commentator, it takes me much longer to develop the rapport with the fighter. If I'm watching a chapter match, I can see this fighter, this guy started out, I don't really know him, and by the end of that chapter match, I know kind of
we're talking about stuff, and we're assuming that the people in this camera know what the hell a chapter match is.
Gotcha.
So, all right, you guys hopefully by now have watched. We've done the formats, but let's do a quick review. In a tournament, you fight the best of 3, and you're going to fight multiple teams in a day.
Yeah, the tournament tells you who's best of who shows up.
On that day, right? Who has the best roster on that particular day at that particular time? That's what it's there to find out. Okay.
And now it's good. It's
real good at that. kind of crap for everything else. And it's because we do a team sport. Tournament brackets aren't really set up for team sports.
Exactly.
Now,
especially not for as short as our
tournaments are, right? We're talking about a day-long tournament. Now you think about, well, you know, like what about the Sweet 16 in basketball? That is
4 weeks,
4 weeks
or something like that.
6 weeks.
Yeah,
like
it's
a long time. They're still playing full games, right? And if you go to the playoff tournament format in baseball, they're playing like best of 7.
Yeah, they're playing best of 7. The NBA does
right?
best of 7. Yeah.
So you're talking about even more games, right? So it works there, whereas our tournament format doesn't come from a team sport tournament.
Exactly.
It comes from singles tournaments because the rules and structure of our sport was set up by singles fighters.
You're also not testing as much as you really should be whenever you're competing, in my opinion.
Well, you're testing who's the best.
Yeah, you're testing who's the best at that time.
Great. It's not just who's the best. It's who can put down the other team the fastest, the bestest, the quickest with the least amount of upsets. Who's the most consistent? Who's just kind of like top of the heap. That's great.
But a pro fight tests your team's endurance.
Well, not pro fight.
A chapter match tests your team's endurance
and
your team's depth.
Your also ability to respond to adversity.
It tests your captain's ability to be a captain. It tests your team from the top to the bottom.
Yep.
And whereas
time to go home.
It's time for you to go home. Whereas
Alexa button in on the podcast.
Right? Excuse me, ma'am.
It's like, get your ass out of my house.
Leave.
Sorry.
Whereas in a tournament, really, if your team is rocking and rolling, you can really put out the same lineup.
So let's just pick on the Warlords.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
For years, we Ironmanned every tournament we went to.
Yeah.
And we got into this habit of we Ironmanned everything. We went to a tournament. The first time we went to Carnage, okay, we had 8 dudes. We had
Oh yeah, because that was the year that Carnage was the deciding for IMCF, right?
Well, that was the
second year we went to Carnage. Yeah.
The first year we went to Carnage, we had a pretty stacked team. We only had 2 new fighters. We had 6 fighters that were really good.
Yeah, 6 fighters that were deep in it.
And our 2 new fighters were giants.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But instead of using our rotation to our advantage, okay,
we got kind of fried.
We had you and Essig running on the left rail. Okay. Neither one of y'all are real good rail fighters.
Yeah, we're not.
That's not your forte.
Yeah, we're not rail guys yet.
It's not your forte. But we had 3 rail guys. Like, I'm a dedicated rail fighter. Yeah. I rode the bench for most of the damn tournament.
Oh yeah, true.
Right?
True that, yeah.
And we had 2 new fighters that should have been in for rotation during the pools, so that we could keep our high level fighters fresh. We didn't do that. We just put what were our quote unquote 5 killers out every single round. They got exhausted. Yeah. And we walked away with 4th place when we were clearly the team that should have been fighting for 3rd or possibly 2nd, right? Yeah. But we didn't have. Again, our goal for that tournament was just to make the 16th or the 12th team or whatever the hell it was. We're just trying to go to the international show.
Yeah,
and we met the goal.
We did it. Yeah,
we did
absolutely.
That's what we went.
We did what we went out to do.
The couple of rounds that I went in, it was basically to go take a dive, so that we didn't have to fight the really good teams. Make sure that we stay fresh to go fight our fight that we were there to fight, which is we wanted to make sure we got to the bronze medal round.
Also, a tournament. Right. Also, in a chapter match, every fight is your fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
because you got to score.
Because you don't want to fall too far behind. You don't like,
but because of that, because of that rotation, because our strategy was just to put our 5 killers, we ran out of gas, right? So now, what the Warlord strategy is this: we go in. I don't ever fight in a gold medal round.
Yeah. Okay.
Ever. Okay. That's not my job on the team, right? Okay. My job on the team is to make sure that our all-stars get to that gold medal round and can fight fresh as fuck.
Right? Which also lends itself to your style of fighting, also.
Yeah, but we have better killers. My point is, we have better killers than me.
Yeah.
Right. So our one strategy is to make sure those killers are fresh for brackets, right? And now we use our rotation for pools, and this is directly into that Carnage that we went into, where our killers got exhausted, right? So now we changed it. Now when you go into chapter matches, this becomes more important because it's now just not trying to get guys to fight one match at the end of the day, right? You're just trying to get you got to get to pick up the most points in every single period, because chapter matches, as opposed to our chapter matches or meets, either one, you fight in a 15-minute period.
Yeah.
So for 15 minutes, we're going to fight the same team as many rounds as we possibly can in these 15
And
minutes.
here's the thing: it's never going to be more than 15 rounds because there's
It's never going to be more than 5 rounds for
Is
melees.
it really?
Yep, there's a 5-round mercy rule.
Oh no! Oh yeah. No, what I meant was it's never going to be. You're never going to have more rounds in a quarter than 15. Actually, you're never going to have more rounds in a quarter than 10.
8 is the max you can have.
Yeah, because
you got so a chapter
1
match,
minute between.
Well, a chapter match has each round consists of the first 3 rounds are singles fights.
Singles, yep.
So and those take up 6 minutes.
Mhm.
All right. Now we have a 5-round mercy rule, so we get up to 5 melee rounds after that. So that means if you're really rocking and you're murdering the other team,
5-0.
and you can 5-0 them, you can get up to 5 points. Okay. Typically, you're not going to get 5-0. You're usually 3's about 3.
Is it a
4.
5-point mercy rule or a 5 melee round mercy rule? Because
I think it's 5 melee rounds.
Okay, gotcha. Because
it's 5 melee rounds. So that, and what that lets you do is now I have to win the most points in the round or in the quarter, right? Maybe I've got a killer singles fighter. Who's just good in all disciplines.
Yeah.
We've got
he does it all.
I don't know. We've got Ringo.
We've got Brennan, or we got Brett. We got one of those guys who does everything.
Yep. But somebody like Ringo who has a gas tank to fight all the singles.
Yeah,
and he can do no matter whatever the other team wants to throw. He can throw down pole arm to sword and shield to long sword to whatever. He can do all of them. So
let me cut in one second.
Yeah.
This will also give us a chance to look at those other cool dueling formats, like Greatsword.
Yep.
Which a lot of people don't know. Bigger long swords, bigger
more
swords and long
smashy.
swords. First to 5 shots.
Yep.
Really cool. Short axe fighting. Short axes, first to 3 shots. You get
is short axe first to 3?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's meant to be high impact. So like the tappy tap stuff, you got to get your shots to stick. Right?
I did not know that.
That's
Charles.
right. That's really dope. That's really cool. Like you can. There are so many different ways that this sport can be played, and just doing tournaments is.
Yep. And it's not it. Like don't get me wrong. Like we do tournaments all the time.
Like I said, I love tournaments. I enjoy showing up and being like.
But there's a better way to run stuff. So a chapter match is if you're fighting with just 2 teams, it's fought much like a football game or basketball or hockey, where you have periods or quarters. In our case, we do 4 of them like football. Okay. And you got 10-minute breaks between each quarter. All right. Now, if you have more than 2 teams, you rotate. The list is never dead.
List is always going.
List is always active.
Fights.
And it's on a timer. So you guys that are running tournaments,
know exactly
when the tournament's over with. The timer never stops. So
the timer doesn't stop during your rest periods either. Oh, interesting.
The timer everything is on a timer.
So you really got 2 timers. You got one going for the entirety of the quarter, and then you got one going per round or per.
Yeah, you have your round timers. Make sure the timer's going, and then you got one going you got one this time in the event, right?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it works fantastic. We've run several of them. Lone Star Cup is a chapter match format.
You also have to have your refs who. You also have to have refs who know exactly what they're doing as well. I think.
Oh yes,
like I said, I think chapter match will bring the overall.
They don't even have to know exactly what they're doing, because an individual ref mistake is not that terrible.
What I'm saying is like you have 1 minute to get your guys ready. At 1 minute, we're starting this round.
Yes. Yep. It also makes and that because of that, it keeps the pace high.
Exactly.
It brings it makes.
It also makes momentum matter, which is huge in teams.
You also have a 12-man roster. Right? So a 12-man roster means now that I've got options I can run a fresh line every round if I want to.
Oh, and also guess what else? Your X-Men also matter more because, I can take 1 or 2 X shots, but I'm not going to take 1 or 2 hard X shots every round for 12 rounds.
Yep.
Because eventually you're going to start going down on the first one.
Yep. Maybe I decide that I don't want their X-Men to fight next round. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab on him and
tire him out. Maybe I know for a fact that my Ringo can go out there and win. He can give me 3 points.
Yeah.
Maybe my team is kind of iffy on the melee side. Maybe we got some lightweights.
That's the one I
we
want to
got
see
some new
right
guys. Now, I'm speaking from experience because I've coached a team to do this.
there.
All right. And I know that we can't really win all the melees.
Mm-hmm.
We might can pull one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to make sure that they can't get more than 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they can't get more than 3 points, that means that my Ringo
Mm-hmm.
can get me 3 points because he's going to win every melee. He's going to win every single
He's going to
round.
win, yeah.
He's just better than all their singles
Exactly.
fighters.
Yeah.
So I can take my new guys and go, hey, you don't have to win.
Yeah.
You just got to stay up.
Stick in there. Yep.
Do not go down. You have...
Wait a minute. Then you've got better new guy participation on the team?
I know, right?
Whoa.
Right? And so,
Crazy.
And so I can, hey guys, I just, like, the round's end at 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they only have 9. There's 9 minutes left after the singles over with. So can you give me 2 rounds where you just don't go down? Sure. Right? Now they don't get any points. Or they may win 2 points.
Well, they got 2 points, but guess what? We're guaranteed 3.
We're going to get
every
3
quarter.
every pick it up. So my singles guys now matter. Strategy starts to
And
matter.
your singles guys, that means your single guys can win you a tournament.
Yes.
Can win you a fight.
They're part
That's
of the
not-
team.
That's not common. Normally singles fighters and melee are really different. This integrates them together.
Let's be honest. Singles fighters at a tournament, you second-class citizens.
Yeah,
you just are.
And sorry, guys.
I mean,
like,
look, it's me. I'm bitches. I love doing pole arm. I fight singles.
my favorite fighter is Shoshana Shelley.
Yes.
And that's all she does is
Singles. Yep.
But like, come on. And also,
and as a melee fighter, at a tournament, I cannot tell you how irritated I am at singles. Like it makes me, it makes me like really angry because it takes forever. It takes 5 times the number of refs to run, right? And you get half as many fighters through it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
So-
a long.
Yep.
It's really.
And let's be honest, just sword and shield's just not fun to watch. Sword and buckler, nobody knows what's going on in sword and buckler. Let's be quite honest. Though you like, I'm sorry, man.
Oh,
like, unless
you know
your
what else
refs
you could do?
unless your refs are experienced fighters in sword and buckler,
Yeah.
they can't count.
It's a hard one, yeah.
I mean, it's first to 5, and it's so fast that
Yeah.
you're just kind of guessing,
Yeah.
right? So unless you're an actual like experienced singles fighter, you can't actually ref that.
Or I've
So-
got another one. What if I'm doing a chapter match and I'm like, you know what? For the first 3 rounds of the first quarter, I want to do a pro fight round.
You can do pro fights. Yep.
Possible.
Yes.
1 minute pro fight rounds, or we do a pro fight, match with 3 1-minute rounds to see who gets all 3 points. If you want to do that, like it's. I think chapter match really opens up the sport.
Yeah, because in a chapter match, it does open the sport because each round is worth 1 point.
Exactly.
Melee round or singles round.
1 point.
Right. So because of that, those singles rounds now matter. They're not just an also ran. They're not second-class citizens anymore. They're not just in the way, right? And look, I understand all you singles fighters and singles fans out there. You yelling at me, I get it. Just leave it in the comments. I won't read it, but it'll be okay.
I'll read it. And I'll be like, "Who, Charlie?" I'll be like, "Oh man."
So, but
That guy with the long hair is stupid, and the bald guy has never won a singles match in his life. I am stupid, but maybe you can finally
I
get
fought my fair share of singles.
Maybe you can finally get that rematch against Nick Homa that you've been wanting all this time.
He's gonna whip my ass again.
You know,
Look. One of the medals was hanging up there because I got to a tournament and everybody dropped out of the sword and shield fight. And the lady running the tournament's like, if you drop out of sword and shield, I'm gonna stab you because it's just you and Nick Homa.
Nah, dude. Nah. Let me. Nah, you quit lying. He was using this, and he used this.
Not in the sword and shield fight.
Yes, you did. You used the
Sword-
short axe. You used the
In a sword and
axe.
shield fight? No, I didn't. I used that freaking sword
I thought
right
you
there.
used a real short axe.
No,
No,
sword and
it
shield.
wasn't a pro fight, maybe.
I used them in pro fights and stuff. Yeah,
I thought you
But
fought
no,
Nick
no,
Homa with this.
no.
Oh, okay.
No, I just didn't hit him anyway because he's too damn fast. He just made me look like an idiot. But I look like an idiot with a second place medal.
I was wrong. Sorry, guys.
But
Yo, you should bring back Tiny X Charlie.
They won't let me.
Guy. Oh, that's.
they won't let me. They outlawed my 1 foot axes.
So bad, dude.
So, but
This shit's worth
so
it.
anyway, so this chapter match format, like we loved it. It's kind of died because let's be honest, the ACS was supposed to be chapter match format, and the ACS doesn't really exist.
Yeah,
It's dead.
Yeah, it's kind of not really.
Again, nobody's safe.
Yeah.
I, and the regional commander, hate that fucking name for the South Central region in ACS.
Oh yeah, weren't we supposed to be the South Central Free Company or something? Wasn't that like our regional team?
I think it's what they ended up being. I think that's what ended up being. Then Tulsa ended up taking the free
Yeah,
company
Tulsa
name.
took the free
but
company.
we as a South Central fielded one 10-man's team under
Ever.
ACS at the only regional or the only conference event that the ACS ever held. And the ACS only holds one tournament a year now, and that is in Reno because they get paid to host a tournament in Reno. That's the only reason the ACS exists.
Yeah,
and
it's tough, man. I really love the chapter match.
But that tournament was supposed to be the culmination of the chapter match season. And the ACS never got off its ass and started pushing chapter matches.
Yeah.
Right? Which kind of leads us to what we're doing today. Right?
Which is deep tournament play, a lot of high game stuff. But
it's also tournaments suck for a myriad of reasons. One, if you're a low level team, man, tournaments are shit for y'all. Like I feel bad because you do all that travel, you get four matches, and then you go the hell home.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 matches.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And so it sucks. Right?
And
that leads to low participation because there's no fights. You can't learn anything at a tournament. You just got your ass handed to you. You're like, what happened? Yeah. And you go home and you got 30 seconds of film to watch, and you're like, I don't know, man. We were standing up, and then Brett did this thing, and now I'm on my ass.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't learn anything. Right?
Exactly.
It's not good from a team perspective. It's good at one thing and only one thing. For high level teams to come out and say, who's the best on today? Right? And it does that well, but it does everything else terrible.
Here's what's a trip. You could decide the best team in the nation every year with a 4-team bracket tournament. And get that shit done in 4 hours.
Not even that. In an hour.
Yeah, but
in an hour. We can be done in an hour.
Yeah, but let's keep it a bean. Like an hour is gonna be 4 hours at a Buhurt tournament. Yeah. But like fucking Warlords.
It's Warlords, Kenyas.
We'll say, you know what? Let's make it 8 teams. Warlords, Kenyas, War Pigs, Ordo,
Houston, Berserkers now.
Yeah,
are up
Berserkers,
there.
Yeah, Berserkers.
You've got.
Let's take Tulsa. Tulsa's probably outmatched.
Problem is Tulsa's got to go to more shit.
Yeah,
before I can put it in. They don't do enough as Tulsa.
Executioners, right? Because the Executioners are good. They're
not after that ass when they took in Germany.
That is incredibly rude. I'm gonna put the Executioners up there because I still want to beat that team and I want them up there. I still haven't beaten. I have done this sport, Charlie, for 6 years, and I have never beaten the Executioners. I see them in my nightmares. I wake up in a cold sweat, and I'm like, what happened? The Executioners beat me again. Anyways. Who's number 8? Let's Dominus.
I mean, Dominus is a hard one to put it because it's a lot of 60% Warlords.
But I will also I think Dominus could still field a team without Warlords.
They do. They've done that. But again, it's teams from all over the world at that point.
Okay, yeah.
So you can't do one. So it's not really a U.S. team.
Fair.
So if you want to give Dominus a place, it would be Cerberus, but Cerberus doesn't really.
Cerberus, yeah.
Again, I don't know what's up with Cerberus.
Yeah,
but there is another team that you could put together of free agents, so to speak.
Actually, yeah.
Right.
That'd be
that would be in that realm of top whatever.
Yeah,
right?
and those 8 teams right there you can do those 8 teams every year, and I guarantee you, if you find the best team in the country every year, and that's fine. And it kind of seems like tournaments at this point it's like foregone conclusions. One of these teams is going to win. Yep. All right, cool.
And everybody else is playing for second place or third place.
Yeah, and it's like, and also if you're fighting against a powerhouse team in a chapter match, that gives you a better chance. Because, I said,
because strategy matters. We have let's just again, I'm picking on Warlords because it's easy for me to pick on Warlords. You know what? Let's pick on Kenyas.
Okay, yeah,
let's pick on Kenyas.
Awesome.
All right. Kenyas has 5 dudes that are absolutely amazing at wrecking shit.
Yeah.
Okay. McCabe is hella dangerous. Yeah. You've got
McCabe.
You've got Huey.
And
who trucked your ass?
I owe you, Nick Huey. I owe you, Nick Huey.
Nick Huey, who is arguably the number 1 freaking rail guy in the sport at this point. Yeah, he's good, dude. He's good. You've got Jimmy Shock.
Another dog.
You got that new corn-fed, red-headed motherfucker that's huge.
My God.
What's his name?
I don't know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
God, he's huge.
Yeah. He's going to comment, "It's me, nerds."
Then you got, I just call him the Ginger Gorilla. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, that's what everyone's taking to calling him. He's just...
He's so big.
You know what I call him?
He's so big.
You know what I call him? I call him a fucking dog. That's
He's
what I
so
call him.
big.
Dog. He's a monster.
And then you've got Mickey, who,
Yeah.
who fights with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Another dog.
those 5 guys, once you get past those 5 guys, you drop down to another rank of 5, like guys like Pete Moe.
Which is also a problem.
You got Sean. You got so that's what my point is. Like, we can go naming names, and it doesn't really matter because most of our guys watch the show don't know these guys' names.
Yeah, fair,
but my point is, you got 5 guys that are super high level,
me.
and then you got to drop off to the next 5.
Yeah.
Now, in a chapter match or in a tournament, that doesn't matter,
Not at all.
right? Because at least 3 of those are gonna be able to fight every round,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I can keep my high level pace in there, right? But now we come to chapter match. I don't want to fight Jimmy Shock, the Ginger Gorilla, Nick Huey, and Pete Moe at the same time
Not at all.
because they're too big.
Never,
It's too much man mass.
Yeah, never
Right?
ever. Like that's 1,000 pounds of.
That's
1,200
that's 1,800 pounds
yeah,
of-
like, of just dude. Yeah, dog, like of Midwest dude.
yes,
Like,
Midwest corn-fed big boy.
Yeah, right.
And so as some, what I would do with my team is I'm like, okay, guys, I don't want them to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to make sure that they are very, 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 tired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so whichever one of those big boys comes in, I'm going to have one guy who's like, I want you to run him. I want you to make sure that he's got to actively fight and grapple and grind for the next 3 or 4 minutes, as long as we're going to drag this turn or this particular round out. We're going to grind and so that way their big guys can't be in the next round.
Exactly.
Then the next round I'm going to roll my killers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And,
Now,
we're going to specifically go hunt McCabe. We're going to hunt McCabe.
Yeah,
McCabe's got to go down
yeah,
now because
yeah,
I
keep
can't have him
him- yeah,
running. I
exactly.
want him down second round. He's our first primary target. He goes down. Now we start putting the other guys down real quick in 30 seconds. And I want that round over fast. Fast.
So that we don't burn our
big
energy.
guys. So the big guys, we just burn out. Can't come back in for round 3.
Exactly.
Because they're still gassed. They've only had a minute and a half.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So this is the strategy that you start getting in the matches. Right. What you don't get to do in the
in tournaments, it doesn't show up really that often because
it's best of 3.
Because what do? You say, okay, I guess maybe deep into a 40-team tournament, which you don't even really have because Carnage split the brackets. So you could be like, okay, I saw at a tournament, you could be like, I saw their fights in pools and all their fights were 3 rounds and took 5 minutes. They're going to be more tired.
Yes.
Cool. Like that's what you got in a tournament.
But that's where you guys like Pale Horse and War Pigs are. Right? They're at that level that's just good enough.
And especially
and
with
the
War Pigs.
as we talked about it previously on the podcast, like that's just a real hard place to be. That's 3 rounds. That's just so
and teams like War Pigs and even Pale Horse can have the strategy that they have work because War Pigs uses a lot of axes. Pale Horse, a lot of heavy strikes. And axes and strikes wear on you for later on in the fights.
Yes.
So that means instead of me axing you and helping out a team that you fight later on in the tournament,
I
am axing you now and helping out my team in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Maybe the second quarter.
Not even the 3rd and 4th quarter. The 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th round of this quarter.
Exactly.
Right? So
and your big guys, those big guys that you have who like, I'm in 100 pounds of armor, I'm gonna just stand up and get beat on. Sure, do it for 3 rounds. Great. And
the very first time we fought, that I ever met Pete Moe.
Oh my god!
What did I do? What did I do to him?
My god. Pete Moe is the first person I've seen make this guy go, don't let him hit me anymore.
Yeah, that was the second time. That was the second round he was in.
Yeah.
The first round he came out with the axe and shield, and it ended up it was 2-on-1 with me in the corner. It was Pete Moe and Alexi, and
Alexi.
Alexi.
The trip?
What was that?
That War in the North tournament was a chapter match.
It was a chapter match. Yep. And so I was like, this big dude does not need to fight next round. So I just laid back in the corner and let him punch me and try to rip me out of the corner and gas himself.
Yep.
And then he ended up, I remember if I stayed up or he suicided with me later.
I think y'all both ended up.
I think
on
he
the
suicided
ground.
with me. But regardless, either we won or it was a tie. I don't remember. But he didn't come back the next round or the round after that or the round after that. What did we do? We won. We started walking every one of those rounds. Then he goes back in
with the axe.
I didn't catch it, and this man hit me so hard I went and bought new legs.
I'm gonna
as soon as I got home.
I'm gonna find that picture. We're gonna find that picture and put it in this video.
It was on a billboard forever. That needs to be the title, the cover photo.
There's a picture of that axe right into Charlie's leg, and it is so funny because you can see it sunk in. And oh my God, I wish they had pictures of him afterwards because Charlie was like, he literally said, "Yow, don't let him hit me anymore." And I was like, don't let that guy hit anybody because I've never seen Charlie do that.
Dude turned my leg off, man. Like it did not work for the rest of the damn tournament. So, but again, he like I was not able to function at 100% the rest of the tournament.
Exactly.
Because and that was like early in the round. So
exactly. And it's really wild because you see a different Charlie fight for the rest of that because he took that injury, he took that damage, he took that whatever.
I mean, it was enough that my right leg was no longer firing. Like I was stiff leg the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. The ride home was hilarious too because he was bitching the whole time.
It hurts so much. But
how many times have I driven your ass home while you're hurt?
We had the Drive Miss Daisy episode coming back from Salt Lake City where I could not drive.
Yeah, that
because my shoulder was broke.
Bam Bam was like,
and then Born North was rough on the ride home because I broke my thumb.
Yeah,
and thigh. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, that's just 2 times we've taken. Me and Charlie have traveled. It's got to be at least 20,000 miles together.
Dude, it's been a bunch.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. Good.
You and Austin, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So.
So the new. Did we ever tell them?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay. Awesome.
We have an announcement to make, and what we're doing is we're trying to build up this thing. So we're trying to make a case for you guys because this blew up in our team chat, and and a lot of our teammates were like they're like anti.
They don't see a point to it, but also a lot of.
But they come from singles fights, right? Exactly. They don't come from team fights.
Exactly.
And we're looking at this like I look at our sport as the monster trucks of fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Simple to understand, smash bash, not a lot to it. Mm-hmm. It's not like watching like if you watch MMA. Why do you watch MMA?
You watch MMA specifically to see dudes get knocked out,
but they're not getting knocked out anymore.
Exactly. There's grappling.
It's literally just most MMA is just 2 dudes hugging on a mat that really need to get a room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're into that sort of thing,
yeah.
It's cool. There's all kinds of
chess
matches and like, oh look, grappling. He's got his shoulder out of position. He sits and take back control and like cool if you're into BJJ, but most people that go by and they're like, all right, nobody's getting punched, kicked, knocked out, whatever. Yeah. Like so, and again, MMA is like the biggest fighting thing that we do.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, I love MMA. With that being said.
I like watching the big boys do MMA.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's not super heavyweight, I don't care.
Yeah, I like seeing big dudes hurt each other.
That's the only ones I really want to watch. Now, when I say we're the chapter, we're the monster trucks. Is kids love our sport.
Oh yeah,
kids love monster trucks,
dude,
right?
Dude.
Monster trucks is the most watched.
Hey, are we recording?
All right, sorry about that. We forgot to put the fan on.
Yeah, we forgot
the cooler fan on the camera, so it overheated.
Yep.
Nikon.
So the thing about it too is chapter matches are. We're not saying tournaments work better for national and international meetings.
Yes.
Even though I think
international is probably the best place where they work.
I also think international chapter matches would be dope. Anyways,
which IMCF, I'm looking at you. Please make that a thing,
dude.
So
Dominus versus fucking Warlords versus White Company chapter match.
U.S. versus U.K.
Oh, chapter match should be dope.
Canada versus Spain.
That'd be dope. That'd be real cool.
Mexico versus Brazil.
That'd be dope.
Like,
yeah. 12 team rosters.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And so, and that's another thing. Like, chapter matches have 12 team rosters, or 12-man rosters on the team, which opens up more strategy. Now you can have a dedicated singles fighter. They didn't have to fight melees.
Yeah, but I guess actually go back a bit, because the thing about sports too, sports build upon themselves in a very specific way, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally.
I mean, like you look no further than college football. SEC is the gold standard.
Yeah.
Southeast. It's for those who don't know, it's the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah.
If you're not in the SEC, you don't count.
Yeah, really.
I'm sorry, all you Midwest football fans,
Yeah.
you just don't count.
Yeah, Michigan.
I don't care about
Michigan
you.
won last year because they cheated.
I don't
Doesn't
care.
matter. Like,
I mean, they got wrecked last weekend.
Yeah.
They were wrecked.
Hook 'em horns, by the way.
Go Texas. But then you got, but like Buckeyes don't count.
Yeah. Tough.
Right. I don't care about. I mean, OU's. I guess OU's now in the SEC. So
Yeah,
I
Texas
kinda
and
care.
OU are in the SEC,
But you know, Iowa State doesn't count.
yeah,
Like I don't care about Kansas.
yeah, none of
Nebraska.
Yeah, like
Exactly. Cornhuskers. Who cares?
Colorado.
Roll Tide,
cares.
baby.
After that beatdown last week. Anyways,
but that region is the best at what they do.
Exactly.
In our sport, the Texas region is probably the not probably, it is the number one region in the U.S.
Yeah.
Because you got us and you got Houston. Okay. We got a bunch of new teams coming up. You got Oklahoma.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And so the Tulsa Free Company specifically is one of the top teams in the nation.
Yeah.
I think they need to travel more and do more as a team before they can take that top spot. But they're definitely up there, right? They have. I mean, with Heath and Zach and the rest of those guys, they have some real good talent there, real good fighters.
Yeah, they got some. They got some dogs.
So,
but chapter matches work better for building the sport in the way that most sports are built.
It helps you build a local following.
Exactly.
Because it's easier for fans to follow. It's easy to put together for a bar fight, right?
It also helps you build regional strength because you're gonna mostly be chapter matching. Let's say you want to have a chapter match once every month and a half, like we do our pro fight nights, right?
Yep.
Once every month and a half, I'm not gonna be able to travel across the country once every month and a half, but you know where I can go? I can do a 8-hour drive. I can do a 10-hour drive.
I can do 4 hours.
I can do
a
4-hour drive. So that'll build your teams and your team skill level locally as well as your conditioning, etc. or regionally. And then after that, if you want to have a bigger, chapter match national tournament, you check out your teams who won and your conferences, whatever, blah blah blah, and do that. Right?
Yep.
And then you have, like I said, eventually a pipe dream, whatever, international, chapter matches. But
that's not as much of a pipe dream as you think it is. That's something that the IMCF has been kicking around.
Man,
so I'm hoping they do it. IMCF, if you're listening, please.
That'd be dope.
Do it.
Man. That would be dope.
Do it.
And I guarantee you, we'll see if we started doing chapter matches right now, we will see better overall fighter skill in the country. Give me a year.
Yeah.
We'll have. Yeah,
I mean that's what chapter matches were supposed to be in their inception. Was a way for practice and training. Now again, it was never really well run because of the teams that were over it. The Knights Hall guys, they changed the rules at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, it was
really kind of just not real well run, which is one reason why we don't have a whole chapter match.
Yeah.
Set up now. It also allows teams to chase something. Okay, as a team, you need goals. You need something to get you guys training for. It's very hard for me to go, okay, we got this thing we're doing in 6 months, and we've got nothing between now and then. Right? It's real hard for me to get motivated to go to the gym for something 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Now, if every 6 weeks we got something coming up, or every 2 months or whatever, or every month, right? If we're let's go. I'm there. I'm never more motivated to train than as soon as I get home from a tournament. Right?
Exactly. And also, like, I guess to piggyback off of the one, like, because I think what was happening is the teams in the Northeast were really one team, but they kept splitting up. You just do what Buhurt International does. You submit your damn rosters at the beginning of the season, and you submit roster changes when you need to for injuries or whatever. Like, there are rules in place for this to go. Very well.
So, but even that, I mean, the big thing is like having teams that people can follow, and it makes it good for the fans. As your fan base grows, then your sport can grow, right? This sport right where it's right now can't grow without a fan base. Which is one reason why we're trying to make this podcast more fan centric than the other super technical, than super technical insider Buhurt crap, because we want to help grow the sport through this outlet. To that end, we are going to be hosting chapter matches.
Yeah.
You want to get some Buhurt is Love chapter matches.
Absolutely.
The first one is going off in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks?
No. About a month. About a month. It's October 15th.
It will be a 4-way or 3-way captain match.
Right now, there's 3 teams. We'll see if we can get. They're talking about getting the Pine Bears to come down too. We'll see what I can get down. Now, first off, it's training weekend, so we're doing a soft get training all day Saturday, and a Sunday we're doing a chapter match.
Exactly.
Okay? A chapter meet. So a meet is more than one team. A match is one team. The big difference between a meet and a match is every round or every period is done round robin.
Exactly.
Okay. So you'll fight a different team every period, and at the end of the day, whoever wins the most points wins the turn or the meet. Okay, so you accrue points by winning rounds, winning singles rounds, winning melee rounds, and whatever team wins the most points wins.
Exactly. Overall, and there will be first, second, and third place medals as well.
So that also means, like, if you're not the best team, maybe you can't beat the Warlords, okay, or Kenyas, or another powerhouse team shows up. Maybe it's Ordo shows up with a super team from the east or from the west coast, and they're just wrecking people's shit.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that doesn't mean you can't beat them, because you don't have to beat them head to head. You can beat them on points.
Yeah, exactly. You have.
Maybe you can
gives you more paths to victory.
Yep. Maybe you can take all the other teams, and your team can put them down faster than Ordo can, and now you get an extra round worth of points every time you fight them.
Exactly.
Right. And so that means that hopefully you can now compete with them in another way, right? It's again adding that depth, adding that the ability to armchair quarterback for the fans, right?
Exactly.
It's entertaining, right? So,
and your captain's decisions matter more.
Yes.
It's more than just who goes in now, who goes in later. You are timed, so it's not going to be a bunch of like, okay, he went in, you go out.
And there's also the negotiation on singles.
Exactly.
And you know the way we're looking at doing it is like, if you have a 12-man roster, that means you can run 10s.
Yeah. Exactly.
And guess what?
That's a risk.
Well, a tens round is worth 2 points, right? As opposed
but you're also putting 10 of your guys.
You're just putting all 10 of your guys in there, right?
Instead of 5. Yeah.
Well, are there going to be 2 guys for the next one? But it's double points. Maybe you can go, and so it's 2 points and 1 point for the loser, right? So by doing that,
the loser gets 1 point
for fielding 10s, because you want to push that 10s, right? And what that does is that means, where to meet, and those guys are good. Well, what if we just field 10s as much as we possibly can? And now we can double up on points, right? Whereas if they're only doing 5s, they're only getting 1 point. There's depth to it, right?
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Yep. And again, before October, we're going to be doing a podcast that's just going to be over the rules for chapter matches,
exactly,
and how they work in depth, like nerd out. This is how chapter match points works. This is how you run a chapter match. All that good stuff. But the big thing is, like, we're going to be pushing chapter matches. I think we're going to try to lead up to we're going to use Lone Star Cup as kind of like a championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And then we'll have a Buhurt is Love sponsored chapter matches all over the country.
Sounds good to me.
And then over the next year, and then we'll end up with the Lone Star Cup as the championship, as a chapter match championship. So that's our plan going in for next year. And the first one we're going to be doing is going to be in October 15th in Virginia.
And the second one has already been decided. The second one will be the first quarter of 2025. We don't have an exact date, and it will be the Lost Boys versus Pale Horse. Which I'm very much looking forward to.
Be a good one.
I spoke to Brandon Sauter. He was down immediately. So it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a good fight.
So and we'll be setting these up so we have fans come, all that good stuff. They will not be live streamed. Instead of live stream, we're going to video these, and we're going to put together actual coherent videos for people to watch later, right? So more like if you guys are familiar with racing, like Lucas Oil does with their racing series, Lucas Oil Racing Series. They take the day's events and they cut it into a coherent video, so that you're not watching like a 5-hour stream of whatever.
With 10 minutes of fights.
But also with chapter matches, if you wanted to stream it, you could stream it, because it's
an hour and a half maybe.
It's 4 15-minute periods with 10-minute breaks between them, so it's 2 hours.
2 hours, okay,
near enough 2 hours. If you do a chapter match, if it's just 2 teams. If it's more than that, it depends on how the teams agree to structure it, right? So it could still be a 2-hour match if teams want less fights overall. If they wanted more fights overall, it could be more than that. But it just depends on how it's structured, and that's up to the captains to figure out. There's that strategy. How can I get this to the best advantage of my team, right? So plus, again, man, the big thing about chapter matches is not every round matters.
Yeah.
So you can try things,
Yeah.
like you can do stuff. But if you have a bad round,
It also tests the ability of your captain. Like,
Yep.
like that is something that's kind of
strategy.
like, yeah, that's something that's kind of missing from the sport. Like all of your strategy is done beforehand. There's not a lot of like twists and turns. Maybe like there's not a lot of stuff to strategize around.
Not only that, it allows you to, as a fighter, just as an individual fighter, you now know you can test. Okay, when can I stay in? When do I have to come out? Right? Because you're able to push that limit a little more. Because again, every round isn't as important as a tournament. Right? If you have a bad round in the tournament, your day's done.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Especially if it's early on.
Yep. You go home. Right? But at because the way chapter match is structured, every round's only worth a point.
Exactly.
And there's so many more rounds that you fight. You get even if you are a trash tier team, right? You still get enough rounds to improve, and that's the big thing.
Exactly.
Right. So teams are more willing to travel because I can actually fight. It's not that Warlords of Kenya are showing up. I'm staying my ass home.
Exactly.
Right. There's not that. Right. Because usually we have 2, 3, 4 pools, and if you get 2, 3, or 4 good teams, well, man, I mean,
pools are
you can look at it and go, man, you know what? I'm on freaking Iowa City's team, and we just not that good, and so I'm not going to waste my travel money, right? So that kind of precludes that because now even if you're not going to win, right? There's a reason to go. I'm still going to fight 20 rounds, rounds, and I'm going to get a chance to improve and get better. I'm going to get to learn from these guys.
We got some new guys. We can see what they're made out of. We can see where they need, all of that good stuff.
Yep. So, and the 12-man rosters are awesome.
Yeah, 12-man rosters is way better because quite a few. We've got who are the guys? The Berserkers. Berserkers have like, is that the Berserkers? Cincinnati?
No. Well, yes.
Yeah, but there's
Berserkers
have like
30 or 40 guys.
Yeah,
Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati has a bunch. Yeah. So there's the Berserkers, and then there's the Berserkers.
Oh,
there's the Cincinnati Berserkers, and then there's the New England Berserkers.
Gotcha, I forgot. Oh, and then you also got the Australian Berserkers.
The Australian
Berserkers, those guys too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Berserk going on.
Yeah. So,
but
there's only one Warlords.
There's only one Warlords.
There are 2 Kenyazes.
It's true.
Ukraine Kenyaz and Kenyaz USA.
Dominus is also. Dominus is Warlords in Latin, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I think Dominus is domination.
Okay, damn.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Fair.
So, but yeah, like I said, again, chapter matches are awesome. They're what we should be doing. It allows. It's more of a family friendly type event because everybody can follow.
Like
it's just better.
It just seems like
it's not a 5-hour stream that nobody's going to watch.
Yeah.
Even if you want to just live stream it and do no editing, it is less than 2 hours.
Right? I wonder. I'm going to look this up, and I'll have the number for it next for the next podcast. But I'm willing to bet that like most people, the most watched stream is probably like maybe 500 people.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's not a lot,
and they're not concurrent viewers. But
yeah.
Anyways,
but if you it also gives you guys, if you guys are hosting these things, you can go to a bar or whatever and be like, hey, I can put a 2-hour event for you.
Yeah.
Give me 2 hours, and the bar's like, bet I can do that. Right, and so it doesn't run over time because when you hit that start on the stopwatch, it goes. Right, so we think it's the best format that there is.
Right? I love chapter matches.
For me, the absolute best format is a 10s chapter match. That's it. That's cash.
10s chapter match, 15 team roster or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. So it's just a real good time. I've got to do one.
Actually, no. 10s chapter match, you probably need a 21 team roster because
if you're doing dedicated 10s, there's more leeway. But I would just go with that whatever the IMCF 10s roster is.
21.
I think at War in the North they expanded to 20.
Was it? Yeah.
It's a 20-man roster for War in the North.
Yeah.
So War in the North is the closest thing you get to a chapter match in 10s these days.
Yeah, because they do 3 minute.
It's best of 5.
Yeah, best of 5 rounds. Yeah.
So that's about as close as you can get to a 10s chapter match. But anyway, again,
also another example, War in the North has put together a really good regional and local following
because of this.
Because of that. Yeah. The Wyverns have put together a good regional and local following because of War in the North. So.
Yep. Doing these things consistently, getting stuff. Well, even when we were doing the fight nights instead of doing the pro fights, when we did the Lone Star Cup out in Sulphur Springs, we had like 10 folks drive from Dallas 2 hours east to go. I guess it's not. It's an hour east to go watch us fight.
Yeah, which is wild. Like that is
in a sport as small as ours is. That's huge,
mm-hmm.
right? So and again, like melees are just way more fan friendly. Like the fans just like watch the crowd engagement from singles to pro fights to melees.
Go look at the Carolina Carnage stream and watch how the crowd reacts to the silver division versus the gold division. Also,
that's because the silver division is way more fun to watch.
It
just is. And it's because like when you get to the top end, the meta's the meta,
mm-hmm.
and the meta's not real entertaining.
Exactly.
Right. The meta is on the rail fighting in pairs. Axes don't matter anymore mm-hmm. because everybody's either too much of a badass, or their armor works, mm-hmm. or they know what pain versus injury is. Mm-hmm. So it takes like the only time you're dropping people is if you actually injure them, right?
Exactly.
Or you break armor or mm-hmm. whatever. And so we use the axe in that case to make people move so mm-hmm. that we can grapple them down.
Exactly.
It's not quite as big of a shot, and because of that, the high-end tournaments are not fun to watch. Yeah. Also, high-end, I mean, if it's not two evenly matched teams at the top end, those rounds are 30 seconds. It's over so fast. So you miss your team, mm-hmm. right? Now, if I know my team's fighting for the next 15 minutes, let's go.
Exactly.
Right?
We got to get it going.
Yep. So even if you're doing a meet, mm-hmm. I can also look at the schedule and go, okay, my team fights in half an hour.
Mm-hmm. I know this.
I got time to go hit the bathroom, get me a hot dog, mm-hmm. get a cold beer, get back in the stands, right?
Yeah, true.
Right?
True. Oh, you're talking about from a fan. I thought you were talking about to go back and fight. I was like,
oh, dude, I mean,
he has eaten a whole chicken between.
No. Brennan told me I couldn't eat a whole chicken, so I ate a whole rack of ribs.
It's literally worse. It's literally worse.
It wasn't a chicken. We still got gold. We didn't drop around that day. So
we're gonna leave.
On that note, ribs are delicious.
Ribs are delicious. Brisket and ribs 2024.
Exactly.
That's what I'm voting for.
Oh my
Brisket
God.
and ribs 2024.
Yes. That's our only hope.
It's our only hope.
So we'll see you on the next episode of
We'll be going over
Buhurt Love.
We'll be going over Way of Honor from Germany.
Way of Honor.
We've watching some film and reviewing it.
It's taken us a while to get the timestamps down, so we're going to follow the top 4 teams.
Yeah, 4 teams,
and we're gonna kind of review those fights.
Which I knew the top 2 are White Company and Warlords, and
I think Berserkers were 3rd for Australia.
The what's the Aussie team?
Berserkers.
Was that the Berserkers?
I think so.
Or no, was
I think so.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. Okay. We're still watching the video all the way through. I know Warlords and White Company were first and second. Second and first. Warlords got second. White Company got first. But I don't know what the other teams, what the bronze bracket was, because my stream was cutting in and out.
Yeah, it was. It was wild. It was wild to watch.
So,
but
all right. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
I'm Charles.
I'm Charlie.
He's the pretty one.
Don't forget merch.buhurtislove.com.
See you soon.
Finger guns.